Hello, investors. Thank you so much for joining me. Today, I want to talk about Teladoc. So, I named this article Playing the Market versus Building Wealth because I really think it encapsulates what I'm trying to address here. So, there's a lot here to be excited about. Ironically, the share price continues to fall day after day after day. But I'm going to go through and highlight why paying 14 billion for Teladoc is actually surprisingly cheap. Okay, so let's just dig right in because I've got a lot to get through. So anyone's kind of got interested in Teladoc, this is the thing that you're going to remember. So anyone that's invested in Teladoc, whether it's the last 3 months, whether it's the last 6 months, whether it's past year, you're just looking at share prices imploding day after day. And this is really, the sentiment overall. So I kind of put out some adjectives here. I highlighted that people that invest in Teladoc have got frustration, regret, pain, hopelessness. I mean, you can pick out anything really. So it's there are all kinds of narratives why the stock is down. Okay, so it's too much executive compensation. It was a COVID winner. There's a lot of competition in this space. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And I'm confident that if you were to sit down and think about it, you could add a couple of reasons yourself. But the matter of fact is that it's a cliche, but the best time to get interested in a stock is precisely when nobody's interested in the stock. So, with the benefit of hindsight, I was kind of lucky because I kind of got in 2020 and I actually exited the position, I think, in November 2020. So I was kind of lucky to actually have a good experience. I was actually investing in Livongo, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, it was just kind of luck, really, that I kind of managed to get out. I never would have foreseen that things would have got so bad. And right now, anyone that's holding on to Teladoc, you just want to clean out your portfolio, start 2022 afresh. And it's that overwhelming compulsion, and nobody has the patience, right? So you've already endured a lot of pain. This is the thing to remember. So from this price point right now that you're right now, over the next, let's say, 12 months to 18 months to 2 years, the share price will move higher. I don't know if it's going to kind of fall down lower or whatever, but it's, from this price point over the next 2 years, it's more likely than not that the share price will be higher. But anyway, let's dig in further. So the revenue growth has fizzled out, right? I get that. There was acquisition of Livongo. Livongo was small, but it's growing very rapidly. And as they digested that acquisition, the overall business as a whole is only expected to grow at 28% to 30%, let's say. But, when they put out the analyst day, that's, they just reinforced what they'd already said on the back of the Q3 results. But the share prices just continue to slide. And it's not that they said anything negative on the analyst day. It's just the market as a whole everyone is like selling fast, selling at any cost, and people are not really coming back to ask any questions. But the fact of the matter is that the demand for virtual care has actually exploded since the pandemic. So they put out this graph that the demand is up 38 times since the pandemic started, right? So there's no question that we're in the early days of telehealth. There's no question that the runway is very long. But, ironically, the valuation today is actually back to before the pandemic. So it's really, really crazy, right? So they have this ability to build an ecosystem where you as the patient can go to get all your virtual healthcare. It's not just a small number of drugs, it's really a dashboard where you can have all types of patient care. And you can get a referral from, let's say, if you're a government institution, if you're employers, part, 50% of the Fortune 500 works with Teladoc. So it's really, it's a really big scale of the platform. And it's that ability that they continue to grow to be a one-stop shop for all of the patient's requirements. But none of this really matters right now because everyone's like just pointing at the bottom line and saying, okay, profitability leaves a lot to be desired. Now, here's the fact of the matter, right? A lot of those other high gross margin businesses have no profitability. But here's the thing, right? When it comes to Teladoc, they actually have expanding EBITDA profitability. Now, they're going to end 2021, which is the year that's passed, with approximately 265 million of EBITDA. Okay. Now, if we say that they're going to grow the top line by approximately close to 30%, and you get just 200 basis point expansion, you're ending up with approximately 400 million of EBITDA this year, 2022. So we're looking at the EBITDA to grow at approximately 50% year over year. So EBITDA is expected to grow by 50% year over year, yet the stock is actually priced at 34 times this year's EBITDA. despite it growing at 50% year over year. Now, if you look at the top line, we're looking at a stock that's kind of growing at approximately, let's say, 30% or thereabouts. And the runway, as I described already, is just really, really long. And there are so many stocks out there that have high gross margins. They're growing at approximately 30%, and you're paying 20 times forward sales. Here, you're just paying 5 times forward sales. I think that this is really, really attractive. So if the key takeaway that I want to point out is that ultimately on any metric, this stock is cheaply priced. And insiders are really motivated to see the stock go higher. Nobody wants to see the stock just imploding day after day. And to preempt your question, like why I don't own this position, is because my own portfolio, I can find so many other stocks in my own portfolio right now that are just as good as or even better than this stock. Obviously, I would believe they're better, but remains to be seen. But if you want to find out what stocks I'm investing in right now, don't forget to check out my marketplace right there on the screen. Deep value returns. Check out what other people said, check out the reviews, and yeah, hope to see you soon. Thank you so much. Bye bye.